Okay, so welcome back to the Upload TV, and thanks for joining The Average Golfer for a little bit of I'm a week late in terms of the video, in terms of posting the video. As most of you will be aware, I went and competed in the Links Golf Salver up at Archerfield Links, which is, for those of you who don't know, that's East Lothian, which is east of Edinburgh. It's on a lovely coastline, sort of biggest or noticeable town, I suppose you'd call, is North Berwick. Great coast, great stretch of golf courses. I've already been through kind of this kind of, I don't know, 20 golf courses in 11 miles, I think it is, and they're all very, very much top quality. But just going to focus on the event itself. The Links Golf Salver, 2-day event, Stableford points, and basically the winner is cumulative total of the 2 rounds. I think it was, I'm not sure, it was 64 or 72 players competing from literally all over the world. Actually, people come in from Europe to compete in these events that are put on, and I've got to say, run very, very professionally. It's a great event, and it's a great way of playing courses that are if you're paying an individual green fee, very, very expensive. Now, just to play Archerfield is £200 per round. So effectively, if you want to play those 2 courses, 400 quid. Although I think it works out, the £200 is they call it the Archerfield experience, so potentially you could play all of those both those courses in a kind of in a single day. But it's very, very good value. It's run, as I can't reiterate enough, run very, very professionally. So what happens is prior to arrival, you'll be given your allotted tee time. You play, even though it's an individual Stableford comp, you play in 4 balls. And yeah, it's a case of turn up and get ready to play. So what I did on a personal level, we stayed in North Berwick, which is about 5 miles from Archerfield. Stayed in the Marine Hotel, which is a McDonald's hotel. It's very, very nice, and it's in a cracking location. Actual room rates are okay, but the downside is with all these kind of chain hotels in very prime locations is the bar bill can be a bit steep, so just be careful there. But as you can see, again, if you walk through the hotel, the views, what you're looking at is that's North Berwick Golf Club, and it's a stunning coastline and a stunning golf course. And if you get this on a good day in terms of the sun going down, the sun setting or rising, then that view is pretty spectacular. Bass Rock is one of those 3 rocks that you see out there in the sea. I'm not sure which one it is. I think it's the one with the lighthouse. But again, cracking golf course that is. And I got up early on the second morning prior to going out. Sun was shining, and I just nipped down to the beach to get a little bit of drone footage. So the drone footage that you see is actually North Berwick Golf Club, and got nothing to do with the Links Golf Salver on this occasion. But if you want to play in the Links Golf Cup, then it does, because the final round takes place at North Berwick Golf Club. Very quirky track. Yeah, you need some skill and a bit of luck to get around that golf course in one piece. But again, a course that I really, really love. So anyway, but back to the competition. So arrival, like I said, about 5 mile drive. You arrive and turn into Archerfield Estate, which is, again, it's very impressive right from the turning in off the main road. And you drive, I think it must be about a mile long, I would say, the driveway. You'll go past, first of all, on your left hand side, the thing you'll notice is the Renaissance Club. The Renaissance Club is behind stone walling and some big steel wrought iron gates that are normally closed. To be fair, they were open when we passed on this occasion. And again, I've had the good pleasure, good fortune of playing that place. It's ultra exclusive. Like I said, you need a bit of an invite to get in the place, and normally the doors are well and truly locked. but if you do get behind there, then it's a great experience there as well. But anyway, you carry on down the driveway. There's some massive lodges that you can stay in. There's Archerfield House, which you can stay in, and then you make your way eventually down by the spa as well that's on there. I've not had the pleasure of visiting all these places, but you make your way around into the facility, and the first thing you come across on your right hand side will be the driving range, and then you'll see a huge practice area which includes kind of bunkers, a chipping area, short game area, a putting green that you'd expect, huge bunkers to practice from. It's just a state-of-the-art indoor facility as well. It's incredible. I mean, it really is top notch. This is, like I said, it's a facility. It's not just about the golf course. This is everything encapsulated as far as, first of all, like I've just mentioned, that's the practice facilities. Then you arrive at the clubhouse itself. When you pull outside the clubhouse door, it's very much what you've seen in the top resorts, and a lot that you see in the American resorts, where someone will come and take your clubs from you. They'll get your clubs prepared, probably give them a bit of a clean if they're as bad as what mine are, and on the other side you'll collect from the other side of the changing rooms. Your clubs will be ready and prepared and good to go, ready to the first tee. So you park your car, make your way into the changing facilities, which again, I couldn't take the camera down there. I was just a little bit worried about walking into someone who just walked out the shower, but I can assure you these changing rooms, again, they just blow your mind. It's like a huge leather Chesterfield suites, 42-inch plasma TVs on the wall. There's a guy who permanently situates himself behind a I don't know, almost like a bar behind there. There's fresh fruit that you can grab. He will ask you, do you want your shoes cleaning before you go out? And again, once you come back in again, you can leave them with your shoes and he'll give them a clean up and whatever else. It's unbelievable. The classic kind of wooden locker room then, so shoes on, all good to go, get your clubs, and then you go back out onto the practice facility. So first bit done, started off very nice indeed. Sun was shining, seemed all rosy in the garden. First tee, and played okay. I mean, I'm gonna brush over the first round because unfortunately what I didn't get a lot of footage from the golf course itself. What I'm going to show you and what you see is a few short bit of video that I managed to obtain, and some photos as well thrown in there to boot. But it was a bit awkward because we're playing the 4-ball, and I don't want to impose a camera on other people. They've paid good money to kind of compete in this event, and what I don't want to do is stick a camera on behind them every time they're about to hit a shot. So it was a little bit awkward, couldn't get perhaps the footage that I would have wanted to. But all the same, hopefully you can grasp a little bit of what this kind of course has to offer. And the first course was the Durlton course, cracking course. I've played it before, but it's extremely tight off the tee, and what you'll see is these gorse lined fairways are pretty much from 1 to 18 all the same. It's high gorse, it's about 10-12 foot high, it's heavy, it's dense, and if your ball goes in it, quite honestly, you won't find it. So it's not a case of playing a penalty drop or an unplayable lie. It's a case of reloading because you just don't get your ball. And the unfortunate thing was, on day one, the wind picked up within about 2 or 3 holes, and it was so tough. Border on maybe just a little bit too difficult. I know on a personal level I felt as though I struck the ball really well, but I also got extremely frustrated, which is not a good thing. And within about 12 or 13 holes, quite honestly, I'd had enough, because I'd scored so many blobs from balls which I'd hit maybe a good tee shot and then hit a slightly errant ball into the green and found that I'd lost the ball, or vice versa. A decent tee shot that had just took the wrong bounce and ended up being in the gorse, and all of a sudden, from not really doing anything majorly wrong, you've scored a 0 on your card, and it gets so frustrating, as you well know. And I think that I perhaps I wanted to film a little bit more, and I was always conscious of the fact that I was going to tell people sort of how the round went, and I think that added a pressure that I didn't deal with particularly well. And each time I got a sort of blob on the card, I was thinking, Jesus, this is getting a little bit embarrassing. And the long and short of it is, after 13 holes, I decided to tear my card up in a bit of a tantrum. I say tantrum, it was frustration. I'm not a sort of club thrower. I'd very rarely get upset on the course at all. And I think it was more out of embarrassment more than anything. And at that point, I had 13 holes, I had 18 points. And so I played the rest of the holes with a sort of carefree attitude, picked up the odd ball here and there, didn't bother putting out and what have you, and recorded an NR, which I'm not particularly happy about, but there you go, that's the truth of the matter, that's what happened. And then I get in, and the worst case scenario was that, to put this into perspective, out of the 72 players, which I think it was, that competed, only 10 players had actually broke 30 points on day one. The highest score recorded was 35. And in all honesty, the majority, the average card was in at about 23, 24 points. It was incredibly tough, and maybe I should have stuck around, and that's my own fault, and I should have recorded a score. Like I said, I never like people who NR, and I went and did it myself, but there you go, it's too late to go backwards now. That's what I did. So that's day one. Dirleton, extremely good course, very, very tight. You need your A game, but you need your all-round game as well to score here. You cannot take a second, whether it be a short, a chip, a putt, every single shot that you play, you need to have your A game, otherwise you'll be punished, and quite severely punished. Disappointing thing about the course, I would say, the course was in fantastic condition. The greens on the Dirleton I thought were a bit poor. Didn't play, they were, and that was another thing I did quite often. I three-putted on 3 or 4 occasions, and putting I would consider a strong part of my game, so that frustrated me as well. Blame the greens, but I think, to be fair, afterwards everybody had that same opinion. They were very, very slow, looked quicker than they played, and a bit bobbly as well. But all said and done, it was a top course, and the way it was presented, yeah, I can't argue with it. Anyway, that was that one. So day two, thought it was kind of time to start fresh. Same whole thing pans out again. You're allocated your tee time, same warm-up facility, everything through the same routine as on day one. And first tee, absolutely duff one along the floor. I thought, Jesus, here we go again. This is not what I signed up for. But to be fair, got the game together. Had a decent knock, played well. I scored 29 points, which again, you've got to put these things into perspective. The highest score on the day was 36. That's what won day two. Over the 2 rounds, nobody broke par at all, which is incredible. The winning score was 5 over, which was, I think it was 36 and 31 points over 2 days, which is again incredible. 5 over par for 2 rounds, and the average scores were incredibly low. So the 29 points again, whilst it'll get me 0.1 back on my handicap, I think it was actually, I played well, and barring the odd shot here and there, it could have been nearer to that sort of 35, 36 points of level par. So again, I think what I would say, forgetting my personal game, because I really want to just talk about the experience itself, put my game to one side first of all. More than happy with it, struck the ball well. Should have been a little bit more patient, and accepted the fact that it was playing tough on day one, and on day two, like you said, it was okay. But back to the experience itself, really, really very, very enjoyable. I would say that if you need to be a competitive golfer, I think it's something that you've got to be prepared to. You're playing with 4 guys who are all there to play a serious round of golf, let's say, but value for money, it's absolutely fantastic. And like I said, Archerfield, I keep calling it a facility, a resort I suppose you'd call it. Again, it's top notch, and whilst it's expensive to play and the facilities and everything about it are really top draw, the welcome that you get is very kind of, it's very, very friendly. It's all played very much low key. There's no pomp and ceremony going on, and you're made to feel very, very welcome throughout every part of the facility as well. So, yeah, very, very enjoyable. Like I said, a lot of the footage that you've watched is from a lot of North Berwick itself, which is a great, great place to visit, and some great golf courses literally on the doorstep. So I thought I was duty bound to put a video out, because I've explained leading up to it that I was going to tell people how I got on. Maybe not the most exciting video that we've ever put out, but all the same, like I said, duty bound to put something out. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed some of the visuals that have hopefully made it a little bit more interesting, and give you an insight of what golf is like over at East Lothian. And like I keep saying, if you ever get the chance to do that, either via the Links Golf or on a personal visit yourselves, then you won't be disappointed. Anyway, thanks for watching. This week we will be back at, I'm back in Clark's Golf Centre Tuesday morning, back to some product testing, and then we're back out on the fairways, and hopefully I'll get you a bit more footage this time around for you to get an idea on how I played exactly. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.